Ramadan, the time of spiritual reflection and worship. A time of patience, humility, self-discipline, and submissiveness to God. During the holy month, Radio Sultanate of Oman 90.4 FM takes you on a journey from spiritual reflection and enlightenment to family entertainment. Join us all day and all night long here on the Nation Station. Life is a journey, and through this journey we come across all challenges. These challenges makes us better human beings. We live for the pleasure of serving others and feeling the guidance of the Creator. Join us and explore the opportunities to overcome your difficulties this Ramadan here on the Nation Station.
You lift me up high, you spread my wings and fly me to the sky. I feel so alive, it's like my soul thrives in your light. But how I wish you'd be here with me all year around. Ramadan, 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 ya Habib.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are tuned in to 90.4 on your Ramadan program, Life as It Is. This is Mayya Al Said, and I am joined by Hatim Al Abdilsalam. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you?
Fine, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen.
Alhamdulillah. Are you ready to discuss our topic today?
Inshallah. I just hope we don't get shot today.
So you're probably wondering what's our topic today. Today we'll be talking about obsession in looks. And before we start and get into the discussion, I'd like to remind our listeners that this is a live program and we'll be on until 2:30. So you can call us from now till 2:30 on 24602-058, 24602-058. Okay, so in this day and age, society kind of controls us. And it goes to the extent of how we look. There seems to be a standard, and we seem to be falling in just following the trend. And I think we really need to highlight this because we have our kids, and we need to think about what we're preparing for the future. That looks is not really everything. Some are blessed with good looks and some are not so blessed, but it shouldn't be our focus on how we look. So the most important thing we should start off is, do we actually choose our looks?
Well, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, all praise be to Allah, the Lord of the heavens and the earth, and peace and blessings be upon our beloved messenger. That is a very valid question. We don't get to choose our looks. Well, actually, there are a lot of things that we don't get to choose. So we don't get to choose our looks, we don't get to choose our parents, we don't get to choose our ethnicity, okay, and we don't get to choose our nationality. So there are many, many things that we can't do anything about it. And the only thing is that we need to be content with what we have, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen this for us, and He knows best what is good for us and what is bad.
Like He said in the Quran in Surah At-Tin, verse 4, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. We have certainly created man in the best of stature. So it means we have to accept ourselves, and society or the beauty industry seem to all want to put us to look the same, and we should be happy to be different. It's why do we have to all look the same or fit in a certain standard?
Well, actually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Hujurat that we have created you from males and females and made you into nations and tribes so that you would know or recognize one another.
Yes.
Now here Allah specifically says that He made us into different nations and tribes. And the meaning of nations and tribes, that we will be different in every aspect that is there. Yeah, regarding the environment that we are staying, the looks, the language, the culture, the habits, everything will be different. But the thing that we fail that to understand is that internally we're the same.
That's
So
very true.
every human being is the same. We eat, we sleep.
We have the same emotions.
We have the same emotions, and we have the same feelings
and needs.
and needs the same.
It's just
So
the outer shell.
the
is
outer
different.
shell is different.
SubhanAllah.
And the other thing is that this outer shell we're really obsessed with just for a temporary phase. After that phase, then it becomes, it doesn't make a difference.
And as well as the people who want to stop like age defying, they don't want to get older. The fact is we're getting older every second, every minute we are getting older, and that's a fact. And especially, I think mostly in women, some women are even afraid to say their age because then I don't know why, but that is something women have to deal with.
That's a
whole
topic
on its own.
Yeah. For example, as you know, Maya, and as you can see, I have grey hair all over my face. And for the past years, I've had lots of people coming to me telling me, why don't you dye your beard? Why don't you change it? Why, you're still young. Why don't you go back and look, the same? And I feel that, okay, this is what Allah has given me. And I'm not ashamed to say that I've tried that in the past. I've changed colors into many colors. And I thought about it at the end and I said, why am I doing this? I can't stop it. I can't
it's part of
go
who
against.
you are.
Yeah, it's part of who I am. And it's who I love to be.
And then subhanAllah will be some sort of maintenance that you'll have to do every couple of weeks to make sure it keeps looking the same.
I didn't want to give Lulu a business.
Anyway, please join us on our discussions on obsession and looks on 24602-058, 24602-058. With the emphasis on the physical beauty, we know that it doesn't last forever, does it?
It doesn't.
But yet so much effort is put into maintaining how we look. I totally agree. As Muslims, we should look presentable, we should be clean, we should beautify ourselves to a certain extent, but not make it an obsessive thing. Like an example, for a woman to go out without makeup, for example. It'll be very rare in this day and age to go out and see a woman without makeup, because it's such a thing to have to look a certain way, and should somebody see me without makeup, and it's a whole dilemma.
It starts off with accepting ourselves. The moment we accept ourselves for who we are and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained for us to look, then we wouldn't mind what people think about us.
True.
Yeah, as long as we maintain the standard that is acceptable by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then that's okay. So like once there was a man at the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam who had his hair and beard all over the place, and then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said a very famous saying. He said, didn't this man find something to comb his hair or to keep it tidy? So as long as you're in the norm that you look tidy and neat, then presentable, then that's more than enough. You don't need to go to the other end or the other extreme. And regarding aging, I think people until today, until tomorrow, will be looking for that magical pill that will
to make them
the youth pill that will get you younger. I mean, I have members of my family who are at the age of 70 and 80, and they have more black hair than I do.
MashaAllah.
Which is artificial, of course.
Oh,
but
okay.
I cannot comprehend. When you look at them, you look at the wrinkles on their face, and then you see the black beard and the black hair, and it's extremely black, more than the darkness. You just can't comprehend, even the level of respect you feel that, okay.
Because it's so obvious that they are a certain age, or they've passed a certain age, yet they still try to maintain. Although I think it comes to a personal choice and how much they're affected by being accepted. As you said in the beginning, it all starts with how you accept yourself. For example, let's take eyebrows for women. It is known, of course, we're not supposed to do it as women, But, and I don't want this to become a debate, people calling me about the eyebrows. This is not the topic, it's just an example. That we have to, not do it, but yet it's done. And when you don't do it, people tend to think something is wrong with you, or why don't you do it? You'd look much better. Then we have to think of our values and morals in life, that we're here to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and live as much as we can following His rules, and we're not here to please a certain society.
If you ask anyone on the streets, do you want people to judge you by your looks? The first reaction they would say, no. Yeah? But at the same time, they're doing the opposite. Completely the opposite.
I think judge is a very difficult thing. We shouldn't be judged. I shouldn't judge you. You shouldn't judge me. We leave the judgment up to our Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yet maybe how we evaluate the person. And I think what we should evaluate is the character, not the way you look. And we should not judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, so people would say that, okay, I don't want anyone to evaluate me based on my looks. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, they're working very hard on their looks, because to them that this looks matters to others.
Yeah.
So it's a contradiction.
It is, I guess, in some way. But what does this? Do as I say, not as I do. I want to remind callers that we are, this is the program Life as It Is, and you are listening to Mayya Al Said and Hatim Al Abdilsalam. We're discussing obsession in looks. We would like for you to call us and tell us what you think about the topics we're discussing. 24602-058, 24602-058.
Do you think this obsession was there in the past?
I think to some extent, but it was not so deep as now. I feel now it's really become terms as obsessive, We have to look this way. I cannot go out of the house looking the way I look. I have to look a certain way.
Well, I think with time and with modernity and the changes that we are facing, and the amount of pressure from the media and from the fashion industry and from the rich and famous, the obsession is getting greater and greater.
Yeah.
Losing the main humane value of kindness and valuing yourself on your character instead of your looks.
Yeah.
And today this has become a huge industry. I have some statistics here, if you allow me to share.
Yeah, please do.
I was really shocked when I looked at the numbers, and I logged on to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, and what it says that 15.6 million Americans go through cosmetic procedures. They went through cosmetic procedures in 2014.
Hatim, I'll interrupt you. We have a call. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
How are you, brother?
I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Can you please introduce yourself?
How is your guest today?
I'm fine.
Hoping you from the hot. It's very hot outside.
It's very hot.
Yeah.
Indeed it is. Can you please, you've been listening into our show?
Yes, I have heard about you're talking about your topic, and I'm talking about the society, the Omani society.
Yes, what's wrong with the Omani society? Tell us.
They actually judge you from your look.
Okay, in what way?
When you wear something better than others, they respect you. They feel that you are somehow educated,
yes,
and somehow rich.
Yes, you are very right. And inshallah, we will cover this point, inshallah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your call. Okay, before we address our caller's issue, you were going to go through the statistics.
Yes, I was going through the statistics. They say that 15.6 million cosmetic procedures were done in 2014, and 5.8 million reconstruction procedures. So the difference between the two is the reconstructive procedures are the medical ones that are necessities.
Yeah.
So for people who have
Not considered for cosmetic purposes.
Yes. So you can see the number is triple. It's a huge difference between the two. And then we have another statistics about country-wise. The world rate of the highest country in terms of plastic surgery. First is South Korea, and this is based on the number of people per 10,000. The population of 10,000. How many people go through plastic surgery within the 10,000 people? So South Korea is 74, which is the highest. Then comes Brazil, and then Taiwan, United States, Japan, Thailand, China, then India. And I've gone through other things also, which is the popularity in terms of these surgeries, type-wise. The highest number of surgeries, cosmetic surgery, are on, of course, women, 92% of women.
Why am I not surprised?
And the highest is breast implantation, and then comes nose reshaping, and then liposuction, and then eyelid surgery, and then facelift.
Okay.
So all these have to do with
the face.
Beautifying your face and your body. And then you have other types of surgery that are related to men, which I was surprised. The first one is male breast reduction, and then you have tummy tuck, and then you have laser hair removal. And there's many more.
That is, in a way, not surprising with regards to women. I'm a bit surprised at the men.
And I even went further, and I went to South Korea and looked at some of the statistics, their procedures. They have something which is called wide face surgery. So if you have a long face, if you want to make your face square shaped or round shape or whatever, you look like a TV or something, then the procedure is there. And then you have after cheek fat thinning. I don't know if you understood this. So it means you want your cheekbones to so you remove the fat underneath the cheekbones. So it
pops out.
And then you have the jaw bone reduction. So
that sounds painful.
It's painful. It sounds like it feels like someone has just punched you, and I know that feeling. And then you have plus chin implant. I don't know what it means.
They want a double chin, yani?
No, I think maybe if you have a double chin, then you only
but it says plus chin. Anyway, we're not going to get into the details of that.
Okay, so these are some of the statistics. And then you have another one, which has to do with legs, which is also done in Korea. You increase the length of your legs.
So you
become taller. Yeah, so I think I can do that.
We'd like to remind our callers that we're discussing obsession and looks on Life as It Is with Hatim and myself, Mayya. You're more than welcome to join us on 24602-058. I'll repeat that, 24602-058.
So, Mayya, are you surprised that 92% of the surgeries globally are done by women?
No. But the question that pops up is why? Why? Who set the standards of beauty? Why are women trying to... I understand why they try to look younger, but change their actual face shape. Nobody's perfect in this life. Nobody was born thinking 100%, I like the way I look, my life is perfect, everything is perfect. Life is a test. And we are being tested on the way we look, on the situations that happen to us in our lives.
Yes.
But now to actually focus on just the outer, how I look. So I am happy, or is it for others to accept me? Why is it?
I just wanted to add one more thing, in terms of these statistics, that the highest rate of suicide is in South Korea.
South Korea?
Yeah. They have the highest rate of plastic surgery procedures, and they also have the highest rate of suicide.
So how are you linking the two?
It means, okay, even though that they're going through these procedures, which presumably to them it makes them happy, but still a lot of people are, getting rid of their lives.
Maybe not necessarily happy. Maybe it is a thing of acceptance. Maybe to them, to have a narrow face or long face is not considered beauty. Some countries have a specific value or specifications for being beautiful. So maybe
at the end of the day, no matter what you do, the end result you're looking for is happiness. Every one of us on earth is seeking that happiness. So if your happiness is in being accepted by the society, and the society is me, you, our families, our neighbors, our colleagues at work, this is the society. It means all of us, yeah? And then at the end of the day, we don't reach that happiness, and then we commit suicide as well. So we have not achieved anything. We have caused damage to to our bodies, and at the same time, we have not reached our goal.
I agree that maybe a certain percentage of those committing suicide is related to beauty, but I don't think the majority of the percentage, in my humble opinion.
I don't know, but this is what the statistics say. And here there are two sides of the coin when it comes to changing your looks. There's, I wouldn't say the good side and the bad side, but one is better than the other. Okay, these people are beautifying themselves in such a way they want to look better. But there is the other extreme, the people who have tattoos, piercing, and they want the new trend. They want their ears look like I don't know what you call them, like bats, or
they reshape their ears.
They reshape their ears like you have that character on Star Wars.
I don't watch Star Wars. We have a call. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Welcome to the program. Introduce yourself, please.
My name is Ala. I'm actually from Bahrain.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm an electrical engineer here. And I was listening to the show, and I have some few points which I would like to add that you may be finding a little bit useful.
Okay, please do. Go ahead.
So, first of all, I'd like to say hi to our guest today. What's his name?
His name is Hatim. He's actually supposed to host the show, but I'm the guest. His name is Hatim.
Okay.
No problem.
Mr. Hatim, what is Mr. Hatim is trying to say is that the suicide, the number of suicides, or let's say number of suicide attempts is somehow in proportion with the number of plastic surgeries that are going on in South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And one more thing I would like to say is that surprisingly, the Omani people, with all due respect, they are really, what do I say? It makes a huge difference for me if I go out wearing my traditional clothes and if I go out wearing some parmodas or jeans. Like, I still up to date, I'm not able to find an explanation for this.
Care to elaborate? What do you mean by that?
What do you think about it?
I understand the point.
Okay.
You mean if you change your clothes, then people treat you differently. Yeah. So if you're wearing your traditional clothes,
this is not only for locals. I'd like to add that it is also for expats who are working here or serving here or like whatever their job is.
Yes.
Either I'm going to a mall or I'm meeting with a client or I'm meeting an engineer or anything.
Yes.
It makes a huge difference.
Yes.
So meaning that you get treated better when you wear expatriate clothes or when you wear your traditional clothes?
It is actually better with my traditional clothes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But unfortunately for me, we don't even wear them in Bahrain. It is not, the situation is not like that there.
Inshallah, we will address this point, brother. Inshallah.
Thank you so much for your call, Ala.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
If you just tuned in, this is Life as It Is. This is Mayya Al Said, who is the guest, but is being the host. And with Hatim Al Abdilsalam, we're discussing obsession in looks. You are more than welcome to join us in our discussions. We're here until 2:30, inshallah. You can call 24602-058, 24602-058.
Yes, we were linking between the happiness that we are looking for at the end of the day with how we look. We always link these two together. And by being accepted by the society from the way we look, then we assume that that's the happiness. But still, people are more grumpier today than they used to be in the past. Yeah, you see people wearing the best of clothes. Yeah, women with their full makeup, but still they don't have that joy that they were looking for. So if this is the case, and we are not generalizing, but most of the cases are like this, then what's the whole point of doing it?
One shouldn't link their happiness to a certain thing. If you are to link it, my personal view would be to link it to your religion and how close you are to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But to actually link it to your looks is something... I understand as a point of view from being a lady that we want to look a certain way, but that doesn't mean that it should be our only focus in looking a certain way, and it should link, to my happiness. I think we really need to search deep down and really find out what makes us happy and not connect it to our looks, because it could go any day. If, subhanAllah, we are in a really bad accident and our face is really badly damaged, does that mean we're not accepted anymore in the society? Does it mean I will no longer find happiness because I no longer look the way I used to?
The sad part is that this is what is happening normally. People don't think about what if today Allah takes away this beauty or looks that I have. Yeah, and the second thing is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed in the Quran that He made us in the best form.
Yes.
So when we try and play the role of God by changing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, if it's not for illness or diseases or disorder, then we are playing that role that, as if I just to elaborate more on this point, I've watched an interview on the TV between, I think she was a singer, and the man was interviewing her, and he was asking her about the number of plastic surgery that she had, and he asked her, why did you go through a lot of plastic surgeries? And the response that she gave was very arrogant, which made the man very upset. And I'll tell you what he did next. She said that, what can I do if Allah did not do a good job? Subhanallah. Wow. That's her response. And this man, having this strong faith in his heart, could not comprehend this sentence from her, and without feeling, he just took the glass of water in front of him and threw it on her face. Yeah, and the interview was over.
I can imagine.
So you feel that today there are people who are so arrogant, who are challenging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Although they are inferior, they are no way closer to the powers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if it wasn't for Allah in the first place, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have what you have. Yeah, so there is no need for you to be arrogant. There is no need for you to think that you can do a better job. And sooner or later, you're going to find out that what you have done is a crime to yourself, a crime towards your faith, a crime towards your Lord, because people fail to understand that this body does not belong to us. We'll take a break and come back to that point.
Lulu BMW Dream Drive. This season, luxury awaits you at Lulu. Shop and win 6 BMW X5 35i and other fabulous prizes. With every purchase of 10 Riyals, get a chance to win up to 6 BMW X5 35i and 30 Icon products like 48-inch LED TVs, top-load automatic washing machines, air coolers, halogen air fryers, tablets and lots more. Shop at Lulu today and stand to drive home your dream. Promotion valid till 5th August 2015. Lulu, where the world comes to shop.
When I'm planning a business, I need an experienced advisor.
When I'm expanding operations, I require integrated solutions.
When I'm faced with challenges, I need someone I can rely on.
At Bank Soha, our journey towards service excellence begins with you. We are committed to a customer-focused approach for realizing the challenges of small and medium businesses, marking your journey with remarkable milestones. Make a difference to your banking experience with Bank Soha. Call 24730000 today.
Let us take you on a spiritual journey through our voice this Ramadan in Life as It Is. Explore opportunities and tranquility with the young voices of tomorrow on the Nation Station 90.4 FM from Saturday to Thursday, 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. Engineer Muhammad Farouk, Janab Al Sayyida Mayya Al Said, Ahmed Al Matani, and Hatim Al Abdilsalam. Call us on 246-02058 or text us at 90406 to explore your potentials like never before. This Ramadan, here on the Nation Station.
You lift me up high, you spread my wings and fly me to the sky. I feel so alive, it's like my soul thrives in your light. But how I wish you'd be here with me all year around. Ramadan,
welcome back to Life as It Is on 90.4. Today we're talking about obsession and looks. This is Mayya Al Said, and with me is Hatim Al Abdilsalam.
Your guest.
My guest. Before the break, we were discussing plastic surgery and how humans try to play the role of God and change the way they look to please themselves and society. And Hatim, you had some points you wanted to elaborate on.
Yes, I just wanted to elaborate on the body that we have. This temporary body that we have, one day we're going to give it back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He chose this body for us and He gave it to us, and He has entrusted us on this body. So we have to take care of this body, because if I entrust you in anything, when I want it back, I want it the same way, the way I entrusted you. So you don't have the right, whether religiously or ethically or morally or culturally, to destroy this body in any form and to modify or add or subtract or whatever you do to the body. Then this is not this is not your possession to do. If it's your own private property, then do whatever you want with it and nobody is going to ask you about it. But it doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to you. And today, if you talk to people and you tell them, what's the difference between a live body and a dead body? You say this one has a soul and this one doesn't have a soul. So the one that doesn't have a soul, where does it go back to? It goes back to the ground.
Yes.
It goes back to its original state, which is the earth.
Yeah.
So it doesn't belong to you in the first place. Why should you modify and play around with it?
That's a very interesting way. This is something we know and something we go through every day, but we never think of it that way. So thank you for sharing that with us. The other thing is, I want to say, with regards to plastic surgery, you might see this nose or something on somebody, and that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created that person. And I don't know why one would think that's a cute nose and I want that nose. And for example, you go through the plastic surgery and you put, it's you have the nose that you think you want and you don't like it on you. You might like it on the other person, but not necessarily on you. And there's a whole other thing to change. And subhanAllah, I had to clarify, there's a whole lot of things to change if you want that nose to match your face. That means you really want to look like that person. And subhanAllah, there are some people who actually changed their face completely to look like a certain celebrity or a Barbie doll.
Well, it goes back to the lack of confidence in yourself. Because if you're really confident and you love yourself and you love who you are, you will not work on under the shadow of someone else. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be someone else. I love the way I am. I love the way Allah has created me, and I don't want a replicant of me. I don't want even a twin brother. You know,
even the identical twins, there are some subhanallah differences. Some things which
they are different. So why would I want to go and look like someone else?
Because in their eyes they're pretty. And before we continue, I forgot that to remind our callers to call us on 24602-058. The number again is 24602-058. So the reason why somebody would like to look like somebody, maybe in their eyes that is beauty. So they want to feel beautiful, yet means they want to look like that person.
But the thing is that it doesn't work out, you know. It doesn't work out because the moment someone looks at you, he knows that there's something wrong in the face. Yeah, either you're smiling continuously, or your eyebrows don't go down, or you know, you have this. You make a joke out of yourself. Yeah.
We have a call. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hi, my name is Dr. Frank.
Hello.
Dr. Frank, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Fine, it's nice to hear from you.
I would like to just make a comment to your program.
Yes, go ahead.
I found it very interesting, and I'm a pediatrician. I've been here for 25 years.
MashaAllah.
And what I would like to say that I believe that the bottom line of all this plastic surgery, etc., is compensation.
Compensation
for lack of confidence, insecurity, some deficiencies perhaps on a personal level. And I believe the reason for that is very simple, because it's maybe not cheap, but it's quick.
Can you give us an example, Dr. Frank, for a compensation of what?
Of insecurity, for example, or lack of confidence.
So, for example, if you change your nose or your
lips...
no,
it's a compensation for... let's put it this way. Everybody wants to be admired. Everybody wants to be valued.
Yes.
And if the person doesn't have any confidence, he doesn't know how to present himself or herself, he would look, or she would look for other options and for compensations. And compensations, for example, fixing your nose.
But the thing, Dr. Frank, will you be content at the end after doing that?
No,
that nose.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, that all these things are very short-lived.
Yeah. So it's a temporary phase only?
It's a very temporary phase, and it's basically useless. Let's put it this way.
And one should try and find self-esteem in other things other than their looks. Like get better skills, like exceed in a sport, or, you know, something else other than that.
Not only that, but for example, to exceed in knowledge of some subject.
Yes. And people always respect you when you have knowledge.
Takes some effort, some time.
Yes.
So what the people do, they will say, okay, well, I try to fix up my nose and maybe I would appreciate it more.
As you said, it's a quick fix, and when you do like knowledge, it's a long-term thing that will take time until people actually see the results.
It's something that, you know, they say, okay, I will have it done. It doesn't take very long. Okay, it costs some money, but doesn't matter.
What about pain, doctor? It's painful.
It's simple, right? That's it.
Painful, I meant. Pain is associated.
What is required is somehow education, inspiring people, and trying to tell them to listen. Fixing your nose will not...
That's what our show is about. We hope that we can change the mindset, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Frank.
Anyway, listen, I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Doctor
Frank. Thank you. Well said, Dr. Frank. We are always in a rush to get results. We're always in a rush to compensate. So, as Dr. Frank said, that you can equip yourself with knowledge and skills that will develop yourself, and these will last forever.
Exactly.
It's not a temporary thing. One of the things that I really don't understand about plastic surgery, especially the cosmetic one, is that the most valuable thing that I have is this body. Yeah, not the house that I have, not the land, not anything else. If I fall sick, for example, no matter how wealthy I am, I'm willing to pay all that money to take the pain away. Yeah, and repair what is inside me. So today, if I have this valuable body, would I allow a total stranger to tamper with this body, you know, and make errors and make mistakes and take shortcuts. And today we see a lot of medical mistakes that are happening in cosmetic surgery, and some of the people lose their life. Yeah, some of them become they need to amputate one part of their body. Some of them I don't know how you say it in English, mushawahin, disfigured. Yeah, so maybe they looked better before the plastic surgery, but after the plastic surgery, because of the lack of experience of the surgeon or any sort of mistakes, then something goes wrong.
Subhanallah.
What would you do then? You would regret for doing it in the first place.
Would you really think, is it worth it when you reach that point after having gone through all that? You didn't get the results you need, the pain, the cost. Was it worth it?
And the thing, it's a constant thing. So, for example, if you do a facelift, okay, after 5 years, okay, your face is down again. You need another facelift. So, as well give that money to charity instead of doing a facelift, because it's a continuous cycle. Okay, your face will look younger, but your feet will be, shaking and wrinkled. So, why go through all that hassle? Plus, you're not going to get married at the age of 90 so that you want to look, younger. So, I just don't get it.
I can't stop laughing. Anyway, we've talked a lot about plastic surgery, but it's not only about the face, it's also about the way we dress.
Yes, and that's what some of the callers have said.
Yes, the first one, I think, he called. Just to remind you, you are welcome to join us on our discussion about obsession in looks by calling 246020058, 246020058. So, in the world of fashion, it's constantly changing, and we are constantly trying to be fashionable. And as much as I personally enjoy fashion, but I try and take the modest fashion, and because I'm a Muslim, and there are things as a Muslim woman I cannot wear, and so that does not apply to me, but I still try and remain modestly fashion if there's a sense to that. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't call it fashion, I call it rat race, because it is a rat race, because people are minting money out of this, and they make us look like joke. Because today, if you look at the fashion industry, some of the things that are presented, they don't appear to the human mind. Yeah, you would imagine how this designer became rich and famous by doing such a design.
But Hatim, when we come talk about fashion designers, it's more about creativity. He sees something that you don't see. It might not look something that you can wear, but he's unleashing his creativity.
I would understand Mayya to be creative in architecture, in art, in doing paintings, in photography, in things. But that, like, for example, if you're wearing a nest on your head, or you're wearing a cloth or a dress made out of pure flesh, like cow meat or something.
Ooh.
Do you call this fashion? Do you call this creativity? Or do you call this madness? While people are starving, not getting anything to eat, others are using the food to decorate their dress, their gown.
And we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Hi.
Hi, would you mind reducing your radio, please?
Yes.
All right, thank you for joining our show. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Savish.
Okay, Savish, tell us what you've been listening into the program. What are your thoughts?
So, see, basically, I believe nowadays people are giving more importance to outlooks.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you are, internally beautiful, you are confident, that is what we should always try to work on, rather than giving, importance to all the looks outside. So, unfortunately, the world is going that way.
Very true. Sadly, It is going that way. That's why we're trying to talk about it and to bring people back and realize that they are the source of happiness, and the other things that we can concentrate within ourselves to be happy and to get better at.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Was there anything else? Thank you so much for the call. Okay.
Yes, he was saying something very important about the values inner beauty. And this is something that you can invest, and it wouldn't cost at all nothing. Yeah, it wouldn't cost you anything to have these values, and people will respect you for these values, for the inner beauty, and this will last forever. Now, the people who are going through cosmetic surgery, ask yourself this thing. If you couldn't afford it and you didn't have the means to do it, so it means, is it the end of your life? Or there's always other ways, other better ways to change yourself, to make yourself a better person, and to gain the respect of others. Today, if you see young men out there, when they see a woman passing by who has had all these facelift and nose shape and everything else, then they make fun of them instead of admiring their beauty. We have a call.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Thank you, brother, for joining. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Mukhtar Ali, and I'm a doctor by profession. Okay. And I was just listening to an interesting discussion which is going on.
Yes, and what are your thoughts on it?
I want to make a couple of points.
Okay, please go ahead.
Just the one point Mr. Hatim was making is very interesting, and I find a medical cause behind that. He was trying to link the suicide with the number of surgeries.
Yes, he was.
Actually, in medical, there is a psychiatric condition, eating disorder, which is called anorexia nervosa. The second is called bulimia nervosa, in which the person finds their bodily figure not perfect, so they start starving.
Yes.
So, the reason behind that is that these disorders, most of the time, they are associated with other psychiatric disorders, so they can lead to suicides. So there is definite linkage between, this and the suicides.
Thank you very much.
Second point I want to make is that I think there is a great influence of celebrities and the persons who are in fashion and all this on our community. People try to follow them. People try to look like them. People try to wear like them. So Mr. Hatim said it's a rat race, and he was quite right about that. It's a rat race. You will not end at any point, and you will also lose a lot of money, which you can spend on improving your education, or educating your kids, or grooming your kids, or contribution like a charity. And the last point I want to make is that most of the surgeries, they are in women. Lip augmentation.
Only 92%, doctor.
So, this is just my perception or my thinking that there could be a sense of fear in females, sense of rejection. A feeling of rejection from their husbands, or in Western societies, from their boyfriends. Maybe there is an inner feeling of rejection, so they always want to look good, they want to look beautiful, or they want to look smart. So that's what I want to say.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for your contribution. Very valid contribution, and inshallah we'll discuss further with the points that you raised. Thank you very much. Very interesting the points that Doctor has mentioned regarding the disease, the eating disorder. Well, today actually we're not focusing on that segment of the society, because if you have a disorder, then you are excused, and you have to go for treatment. But we are talking about the normal people that are healthy, that Allah has given them everything, but they still make the choice to go for plastic surgery. We have another call.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I can't hear you very well. Your voice is very low.
Wa alaikum assalam. Can you hear me now?
Yes, very, very low voice. But I just have one comment. First of all, I would like to say assalamu alaikum to two very beautiful people. In the
Thank you.
Today, Hatim and Mayya, mashallah alaikum, beautiful people inside and outside.
Jazakum al-khair. Is this Dr. Lamia?
That's right.
How are you feeling today, Dr. Lamia? Yesterday
I'm much better.
we heard that you're under the weather.
I'm driving to the video today, so I will be live soon, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So what's your contribution? You've been listening in. What are your contributions?
Yes, I wanted to say that I strongly believe that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholders. You know, so many times you see somebody shockingly beautiful, and as soon as they open their mouth, you think, where did that beauty go? You know? And sometimes the opposite. You see somebody who's not so blessed with, good features, but as soon as they speak, they just enter your heart, and you see the beauty within. It just comes, it shines up, and it comes out.
That's so true.
The perception of beauty is really when you get to deal with somebody and you live with them and you know who the real person is. That's when you really see the beauty of one person, apart from the physical appearance.
Yeah, but in this day and age, that is unfortunately a lot of focus is only on the physical side, and not so much importance is given on the inside. And I hope through the show we can highlight that there are different ways to look at beauty within us.
Exactly. Thank you so much for your efforts, and have a very nice day.
You're most welcome. We look forward to hearing your show later on.
Inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you for your call. Walaikum salam.
You know what is worrying me today is the changing in roles, where men are becoming obsessed with beauty and competing with women. Nowadays, you find young men, I don't know what you call it, they blow dry their hair, they remove their eyebrows, they shape their eyebrows, and they spend hours
in front of the
mirror,
sometimes longer than the women,
and some of them use special creams for their
Why
facial.
is that, do you think, Hatim?
I think it's just I think it's a mixture of values. You know, when you're lost and you no longer know who you are, your identity, what you represent, and you don't have those the basic values, in whether it is in your religion or whether it is in your culture, then you lose track. We had a show about mind invasion, the amount of information and images and news and pictures and movies and songs, the amount of things that we see every single day, it creates this confusion into our mind. And unless we have very solid, strong, fundamental understanding and a base of values, then we will be affected by everything which is going on. Today, I wouldn't see myself being, for example, comparing to my wife, spending hours in front of the mirror, trying to beautify myself. The sense of, I'm a man, and I'm not built for this.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I think that because we're much older, so we didn't have that much exposure to society. I mean, like the internet, back in those days, we didn't have that. So we were not influenced.
I'm not talking about our generation, Mayya. I'm talking about this generation. Today you have the two teams.
Yeah, but you're referring to yourself now, saying I wouldn't.
I was just giving an example, I'm saying that today even you have young people from this generation who are stable. They are not affected by these things. They are as they are. So why are these affected and why are these not affected while they are facing the same thing?
To help us answer that question, join us by calling 24602-058. I repeat the number, 24602-058. I'll just go back a bit to the point where you referred to yourself. And I know you're talking about this generation, but also within our this generation, but is it... God, sorry, I'm hungry today. Today is my turn to say I'm hungry. Meaning that even in our society, they are this generation and from our time. Yes. Some are affected, some are not affected.
Yes.
So it applies to both. And I do agree with you that it all falls into the values and the way that we were brought up and how much we get exposed to the social media or internet.
I've mentioned this many times on the show, that many times I go to the mall and I just sit and wonder whether this person in front of me is a guy or is a girl. And this is a very confused feeling that you would have.
Not only that, there's that, and then sometimes is person Omani or not? I don't know if you get that, because there are some Omani, it applies to both genders, male and female. I don't know if they're Omani or they're not Omani. From the way they dress, maybe we'll refer to the point that Ala said, that they're dressed in a certain way, you cannot tell their identity. They could fall in whatever identity. Only until you speak to them, for example, if you start speaking to them in English, they get offended and then they reply to you in Arabic. It's like, why didn't you know? Why did you speak to me in English? Well, how can I know by the way you dress?
By the way you dress, yes. I remember I heard a story of a woman who used to wear, she's an Omani, she used to wear Western clothes, and then she went to this fancy Italian restaurant here in Muscat, and then when the meal was brought, the waiter was from an Arab nationality, and when she tasted the food, she thought that there's something funny with the food, and she asked the waiter, what's the food tastes very different. Did you add anything to the food? He said, yes, we add wine. He said, why did you add wine? Don't you know that I'm a Muslim? And he humbly said, no. Sorry, I didn't know, because you don't appear to look like a Muslim. And we don't mean to say that you will look like a Muslim the way you dress, but this is what has happened. Yeah, people presume from the looks that they cannot judge, they cannot tell.
Yes,
we are all we have signs to indicate our ethnicity, our religion, our values. So, and for Brother Ala, who has mentioned this, that people respect you more with the national clothing attire. And this it differs from one nation to another. Like for Oman is a very preserved country, and they cherish the culture and the tradition. Yeah, now even for Omanis, when they go to governmental areas wearing anything else than dishdasha, they're not allowed to go in, because it's important. Formally. You have to be formal. And today, ask yourself, Ala, if you have a meeting with the president, would you be wearing a jeans and a Bermuda?
Yeah.
You wouldn't wear that, because you presume that this is not the right occasion for wearing that. We're not saying that there's something wrong by wearing a jeans and a Bermuda, but I think we have a call.
I think so. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Thank you for joining our program. Please introduce yourself.
My name's Lenny.
Hello, Lenny.
Hi, Maya. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Ramadan Mubarak.
Same to you.
And Hatim, Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak to you as well, Lenny.
Thank you. Listen, it's a pretty dicey situation that the topic that we are talking about here.
Yeah.
Now, you see, it all. I think this is just my opinion. I think it all. It's inculcated from when you are born and you're growing with your parents. The amount of confidence that the parents actually, bring into you,
yes,
and how much they believe in you, and it's the growth, and of course the environment that you've actually gone for your education, and your friends around you, and how much of confidence that they've given to you, and all of these factors actually give you something called self-confidence, which is normal.
Yes.
The level of self-confidence differs from person to person. Now, the person who has, like, let's just say in a scale of 1 to 10, if you are in a level of, say, 4, then you opt for these, little nose, plastic surgeries and all of that.
Yes.
Michael Jackson, for example, he himself has gone through a hell of a lot of operations on his face.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
You are with me here, yeah?
I am with you. I'm listening
okay.
to. Yes.
Now, there are Elizabeth Taylor.
Yes.
Okay. Now, all of these are people who are in the brim of their career.
Yes.
Okay. And yet, in spite of the fact they're making money, in spite of the fact that they have done so well, they still have an inkling of self-doubt.
Yes, you are very right.
Okay. Now, so that doesn't mean it doesn't only necessarily reflect an ordinary person's viewpoint. And by the way, there is nothing called an ordinary person. Every human being is special in their own right.
Yes.
Okay. And now what that person needs to understand is how special, how beautiful that person is individually. Now, this happens through experience. This happens through, the friends and family that give him support. And of course, it could be Islam, it could be Christianity. I'm a Christian myself, but then it could be any religion. But the religion also drives the confidence in an individual.
Yes.
And so when this happens, now whether it is a lady or whether it is a man, it doesn't make a difference. It is the individual confidence level that you inculcate through the course of your years of growing that actually creates this self-doubt. And when that self-doubt happens in you, you end up doing all these things. Now, like I said, MJ, Michael Jackson, Elizabeth Taylor. I mean, there is a hell of a lot of names that I can pull in.
Yeah,
Point
definitely.
Is, why did they do it? They were doing well in life.
They had everything in life, but they still did it.
They still opted to go for doing this.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's just not that. It's just the... okay, I'll give you another very good example. There's a gentleman called Nicky Voyage.
The one without limbs?
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, you tell me, okay, he also was under, a lot of pressure. He tried to kill himself when he was 10 years old and all of that. But the family protected him, the friends supported him, and the religion, Christianity, that is his faith.
Yes.
Could be Islam, it could be any religion.
Yes.
His faith protected him, gave him strength, and he came out of all that.
And he believed in himself.
He believed in himself.
Despite him being different and very different to us all.
Absolutely. I mean, imagine eating with your legs or with a little bit of toes that he has.
Yes.
Imagine writing with the same. Imagine jumping steps, and climbing stairs with only the body.
And I would assume he is much happier than millions out there who are having the
I happened to see a show in Oprah, and I mean, I think that was the most, moving. And he, by the way, is a motivational speaker. I met him in where was that?
He came to Muscat. He
Doha,
came to Muscat last 2 years back.
Okay, I have. Well, apparently I didn't meet him here. Now, point is that these are people that you need to take strength from, learn from.
Yes.
And not obsess about yourself. So learn to live with what you have is a good thing. But listen, aside from all this that I've said, Hatim or Maya,
yes.
When the day before your marriage, remember the kind of pressure that you were in to look beautiful?
Yes, I do.
Maya can tell you about that.
No, I'm not joking. Seriously, this happens to everybody.
Yes.
Okay, it is only empirical that you actually think of looking beautiful to show yourself beautiful to your partner, and this is a normal, animal instinct. Why do you think usually the male birds, the male animals are more beautiful automatically?
Also, the human males also are more beautiful.
Exactly. No, that's something that's created right now. But then, actually, when if you look at peacocks, for example, it is the peacocks that have the plume.
Yes.
The peahens don't; they're white.
Yes.
It is the lions that have a mane, not the lionesses.
We don't want to make a lot of females upset today.
Starting with me.
Well, all I'm saying is it's okay. So it works both ways. So it is an individual feeling for one person to think about, and his integrity, his confidence that he or she has to build up, and then move on. So we're a mixture of all of this.
Thank you, Lenny.
There's nothing to blame one person and say a lady does this more or a man does this more. They do it when that time comes. They will do it, and to impress. See, when you go for an interview, for example, you want to look your best, don't you?
Yes,
we do.
Okay,
Mr. Lenny,
some simple things like that.
Mr. Lenny,
you will do something to make yourself look special.
Mr. Lenny, we're terribly sorry. We have to go through a break.
Fair enough.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
And we'll look forward to talk to you again. My name's Lenny, by the way.
Yes, we
Thank
do
you,
know.
bye.
Thank you, Lenny. Bye.
Bye.
We'll have to go for a break. We'll be back shortly.
Fly Emirates to 17 destinations across the Far East and as many as 38 European destinations in our ever-expanding network. Be there for some truly inspiring experiences. To find out more, visit emirates.com/om. Fly Emirates. Hello tomorrow.
Want to win a car with all the features you ever wanted? The Geely M Grand 7 with a 1.8-litre automatic engine can be yours. Just WhatsApp your name, location and say that one thing you like the most about Geely and you could become the lucky winner to own one. Send us your reply on WhatsApp at 9440 today. Anyone could win a Geely M Grand 7 this Ramadan. Terms and conditions apply.
Lulu BMW Dream Drive. This season, luxury awaits you at Lulu. Shop and win 6 BMW X5 35i and other fabulous prizes. With every purchase of 10 Rials, get a chance to win up to 6 BMW X5 35i and 30 Icon products like 48-inch LED TVs, top-load automatic washing machines, air coolers, halogen air fryers, tablets and lots more. Shop at Lulu today and stand to drive home your dream. Promotion valid till 5th August 2015. Lulu, where the world comes to shop.
Let us take you on a spiritual journey through our voice this Ramadan in Life as It Is. Explore opportunities and tranquility with the young voices of tomorrow on the Nation Station 90.4 FM from Saturday to Thursday, 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. Engineer Muhammad Farouk, Janab Al Saida, Mayya Al Said, Ahmed Al Matani, and Hatim Al Abdilsalam. Call us on 246-02058 or text us at 90406 to explore your potentials like never before. This Ramadan, here on the Nation Station.
You lift me up high, you spread my wings and fly me to the sky. I feel so alive, it's like my soul thrives in your light. But how I wish you'd be here with me all year around. Ramadan,
Assalamu alaikum. If you've just joined us, this is Life as It Is, your Ramadan radio program with me, Mayya Al Said and Hatim Al Abdilsalam. Our topic of discussion today is obsession in looks. And we have online Miss Roma Fernandez. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Roma. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. So, Roma, you are a clinical psychologist with Whispers of Serenity.
Roma, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Roma, we wanted to know today what goes into the human mind psychologically when they think about their looks and changing their looks and self-confidence. What triggers this low self-esteem and the low confidence?
Usually, all of this starts in our childhood because whatever thoughts that come to us, they're not ingrained or naturally coming to us as we are born. So the environment, our parents' upbringing, all of this plays a very important role. So if we are born, if we are brought up in an environment where our parents always put into us that, you look beautiful no matter, or always complimented us in what we did or how we did it, I think that instills in a child a lot of self-confidence. And if that doesn't happen, and any situation, maybe in school or friends, any comments can shake the ground of which the child has built his confidence on. So it's very important for parents to understand the importance of giving a child a very good upbringing in terms of confidence and feeling good about themselves, no matter what shape, no matter what size, no matter how they look.
Yes. So as adults, what about the environment around them? Like the media, the fashion industry, and Hollywood and Bollywood, all these things, do they affect you, even though that you have gone through a strong, confident upbringing?
Obviously, because we are bombarded with so much of social media nowadays, and all of that is portrayed to us is not the actual idea of what a perfect man or a perfect woman looks like. It is a very exaggerated version, because not everyone or not the everyday person is a size 0. You know, everyone is a little curvy or little, different shapes or different sizes or different facial features. So we all have different unique features, but what we see in the media is the perfect airbrushed model, which doesn't really exist.
Yes.
And that affects the way that we are functioning, because it does put in a lot of ideas that are negative in terms of how we view ourselves, because we start to think, oh, I don't look like her, then probably something is wrong with me. Or I should look like her or him, and I'm not, so I'm wrong, so I need to do something to change it. And that's what happens, that people go into a whole string of surgeries or trying to make themselves on crash diets so that they look what is portrayed as the perfect person.
And the fact that these celebrities are popular, so they're constantly, as you said, bombarded, they're constantly in front of our eyes, so we tend to compare ourselves to them, and then of course when we do compare ourselves to them, we find ourselves not up to the standard. And I think, which is really sad, because I think we are all beautiful in the way we are created, and having curvier women or different men with different lengths, different facial features is all part of being human.
Right, totally, exactly. And if we do not appreciate the uniqueness that we have, I think it does, we won't be appreciating anything, because we all are different in our own ways. And I think God has made us in a certain way because of how He has crafted us. So we have to appreciate the divine entity in all of this, that we are made special because He chose us to be a certain way. And if we don't appreciate that, then we don't appreciate from where we come from, our Creator. So we have to start appreciating even the smaller things, rather than noticing on all the flaws. What are the positives in my personality, in my body, and how can I make it better? If we focus on that, then it doesn't become an obsession anymore, because you're trying to bring out what is already good in it. But if we start focusing on the negative and the flaws, then it turns out to be an obsession where we do take the wrong steps to make it better.
And Roma, just a question I have. How does one know that he is obsessed? How is this... what are the things, I don't know if you can
symptoms.
Exactly, the symptoms of me being obsessed with my looks. And how can I know that I have it, and if it can be cured?
So if it is affecting your daily life, I think that's one of the major key points, that you are going through an obsessive disorder, or even what is called a body dysmorphic disorder, that you are focusing too much on yourself. So if in your daily life you isolate yourself from people, if you cannot go to work on time because you're focused on doing your daily rituals, like you're cleaning yourself or putting on your makeup or things like that, and that delays you from a task that is a priority, that is definitely a key sign that should be noticed. Then the other signs that are there, that could be that you are getting too much work done, or you're spending, again, too much time on grooming, self-grooming. The finances being put into the way that you look and the way that you feel. All of these are very key indicators, and most of the times, if you are going through it personally, you miss these signs because you think I need it, or it's very natural that I'm doing it. So it has to be a self-awareness that needs to kick in for anyone to realize that it's happening. Because most of the times, because you're so self-obsessed with your looks, you miss these signs, and someone points it out, and then it becomes like they don't like you or they're judging you. So it has to come from self-awareness more than anything else.
Thank you very much, Roma, for your contribution, and we really benefited from the tips that you gave us, and we hope to hear from you soon, inshallah.
Thank you so much, Roma.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're most welcome.
Thank you, Roma.
Bye.
So one of the things I'd like as well to talk about is how good we look for our loved ones. I'm talking about marriage couples. The norm is the husband always says, oh, I want my wife to look a certain way, and you have to lose weight after you have children. But there's another aspect I want to highlight, that us women also want our husbands to look presentable and to look good. I will elaborate more on that after our call. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you for joining our discussion today. May I know who's on the line?
It's Ali Al-Far'i.
Oh, hi, Ali. So tell us, what are your thoughts?
Well, I just want to add up one thing regarding fashion and how people actually define beauty. I think the media plays a big role, and you just spoke about how the celebrities look good. And the thing about it, the celebrities really look very good and attractive when they're on television. You know, I just define that beautiness as per the media. But when they're out, you know, walking in streets, they're just normal people. And if you just scroll through the internet, you will find the difference. Say, you know, before makeup or after makeup.
Yes.
You know, difference. So how they define beauty is based on what media makes up. Like, for example, you know, when you go to a shop and try to buy some, you know, cream or lotion for the face, the advertisement, when you watch television, the advertisement on those particular, you know, creams, it tells you, discover the real you know. So when you put that makeup on, that's when you're really you are. Without the makeup, you're nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like, build your personality when you put that cream on.
And it's kind of degrading in a way, because we should be content with who we are and the way we look, and we don't need a cream to make us look.
You don't need a cream.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the media plays a big role. Plus, you know, there's the new fashion that just came up, which I've been noticing a lot lately. You know, the guys shave the sides of their head and then just keep the top of it, a lot of hair, and then they actually started growing beards. And that's the fashion right now. And previously, when you grew a beard, people would say, "Oh, look at this, mutawwa," blah blah, you know, all those words.
Ali, are you indicating to me, Ali?
No. But I don't know if you've noticed that, but
yes.
It actually became a fashion where people grow beards and really big beards. And if you go to some of the shops I've been to, you'd find they're selling T-shirts. They describe different types of beards. You know, I have a long beard. I have a short beard. You know, it's all about beards and how fashionable it became. But it didn't become from the teachings of Islam or anything. It mainly became as a fashion that's going on in the world.
Yes. Let's hope women don't get into that fashion.
Well,
they can?
Don't go into that fashion.
Thank you very much, Ali. Thank you very
Ali,
much for your contribution. Thank you. I think it's very, very important to highlight that behind all of this, there is a huge billion-dollar industry. Yeah, the plastic surgery clinics, the cosmetics, the advertising companies, and the fashion industry. So everyone is making lots of money behind this. And if we don't wake up from this big illusion that we're living in, trying to be who we are not, then one day we're going to find out the truth, and it's going to be too late. Yeah, we're going to lose loved ones. We're going to lose our health. We're going to get into something that is so deep. We know a lot of people who lost their lives, a lot of people who are suffering from the decisions that they made.
Only 10 minutes left to the show, and we still have some points that I'd really like to discuss. But if you do want to join us in our discussions, please call 24-602-058. I'll repeat that, 24-602-058. So before Ali's call, I was talking about how important for husbands and wives to look good for each other. Women tend to, I'm not going to generalize, but some women tend to look, they'll put all the effort in before they go out. To look good, but at home they tend to slack, and then you get men complaining, "Oh, you don't look good at home, only when we go out, why can't you look good?" But as well, I'd like to now talk about the other side. Is, of course, even us women want our husbands to look good, just like men want us to look good. I mean, husbands want us to look good. Hatim, you're giving me a look. Tell me.
Well, it's absolutely right. It's equality after all. So I think whatever you request, you have to do the same thing to get the same result. So if you're not doing it for your wife, then don't expect your wife will be doing it
for you. Very well said.
Yeah. And I think we have lots of points that we have never covered yet.
Two main ones left, which is I'd really like to talk about the men's obsession with marrying a model. She has to be, I don't know, tall, fair, hair has to be a certain color. You cannot. We are women. We are not ordered from a catalog. You choose what you want. So and again, to emphasize that it's not only physical beauty. this woman is going to be the mother of your children. Look at her personality, how she is with you, with her family. She's going to be the mother of your children. What values is she going to teach them? It's not only about beauty. Hatim.
You said it all. I'll move on to the next point. As what does Islam have to say about the confidence? I think our caller Lenny said that the religion gives you confidence, which will destroy the low self-esteem that you have. And it's very important to highlight the verse in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the translation, it says, "Verily the best among you are the righteous ones." This is the criteria that you should be looking for, to reach the level of righteousness for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept you. I think
we have a call. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
عليكم السلام كيف الحال؟
Alhamdulillah. How are you, sister?
وعليكم السلام.
Alaikum salam. Welcome to the program.
Fine, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Welcome to the program. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you. I've got a comment to make.
Please do. Please go ahead, sister.
Yeah, what I'm saying is maybe, we should reflecting on ourselves, like to have a self-talk.
Okay, just before you move on, can I kindly ask you to reduce the radio?
Okay, if I reduce the radio, I'm not hearing it.
You're not hearing me through the radio? Through your phone?
Yeah. Okay, I reduce now. Okay, so maybe you can hear me now.
Yes.
I said, so maybe we should increase the self-talk to ourselves to be aware. I mean, whenever we have strange messages coming, in our thoughts and all that, we analyze before we make a decision of making a big thing, to change our body or to do anything strange.
Okay, so like positive vibes we give ourselves, that even
positive, or be really in yourself, to know yourself best, to be like your own friend, to know what is your weakness, what is your
strength.
Your strength,
Okay.
I remember once, somebody was making like a comment on my body, but I was just like replying on myself, saying that, God creation has no mistake.
Yes,
you're
something absolutely
like
right.
That. I mean, just to give myself confidence, not to be a witness of the strange comment or whatever somebody is making on me.
And at the end of the day, sister, we can't please everyone. We'll always have these type of people in our lives, but we have to move on, inshallah.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you.
We have to appreciate what God has given to us, how has created us.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sister, for your contribution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe one of the things that I wanted to mention before we wrap up today's show is the financial burden on your monthly income when it comes to plastic surgery and changing your physical appearance.
Even in general, you have statistics to say. Okay.
Specifically, the financial burden is huge. The amount of money that you have to pay for particular procedure is very expensive. And not only that, you have to think twice and remember what exactly are you putting into your body. For the women who are using certain types of makeup, I want them to go on and do a research and find out why is the makeup industry, the factories that are producing these makeups, their main supplier is the abortion clinics. So I want you to find out the relation, how they are making these makeup and what is the content of this makeup.
Wow,
and I'm sure
shocking.
When you find out the truth about makeup, you will never wear makeup again on your face.
Okay. Wow, that's shocking. I'll have to research that. Another thing, we've touched upon it slightly, but at the end of the day, we really all look the same. This was here, Hatim put this comment. We all look the same when we first get up in the morning, but not in TV series. TV series, they look pretty when they sleep.
Yeah, I always wonder how come they get up in the morning and they, their hair is done and they have this lovely face and It's all a big illusion, and we fall for it. Yeah,
we do. At the end of the day, I think just to highlight the main points of the show is that we have to accept ourselves the way Allah has created us, and we have to look beyond beauty to value ourselves and not let other people evaluate your physical appearance. And to in our kids, we tell them that they're beautiful, as Roma said, but also value their skills and their education and their knowledge. Not only focus on the beauty, especially when it comes to girls. Anything else you'd like to add?
I just wanted to add that forget about the race that is going on. The blacks want to become white. The white wants to become tan. The curly hair wants to become straight hair. The straight hair wants to become... The big nose wants the smaller nose. The smaller nose wants the big nose.
Etc.
The tall wants to be short. The short wants to be tall.
We are beautiful by being different.
Yeah.
And so...
That's it.
That's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to remind you that we have a Facebook page, Life as It Is, where we upload episodes of where we upload episodes that, like, such as this one. If somebody has missed it, you can listen to it on our YouTube channel. Tomorrow's topic, let me just quickly have a look here, is Materialism, the Illusion, with engineer Mohammed Farouk. This will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock, inshallah. I'd like to thank you, Hatim, for giving me to host, and to thank our sound engineer, Safiya Al Habsi. Thank you so much from us. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Never think of change. Be the change. Thank you for being a part of this amazing journey. Life as it is. Here on the Nation Station, Radio Sultan of Oman, 90.4 FM.